Welcome to Dizzarian Plays MMOs. Today I wanted to give my top 5 story-driven MMOs. If you've been around my channel, you know how much I love the story in MMOs, so I wanted to give that a spotlight here. These are MMOs where the story is front and center. You're not just exploring around and maybe catching a bit of lore here and there. These MMOs put you right into the story. It's always in your face, and oftentimes the stories are animated and voiced, giving you more immersion into the world at large. So, with that, let's get right to it. Coming in at number 5 is Elder Scrolls Online. Most gamers are familiar with the Elder Scrolls series and the great storylines that they have. Elder Scrolls Online is no different. What sets ESO out from its competitors, though, is that every dialogue in the game is fully voiced. The stories here are interesting and often take several steps to complete, spanning over a lot of time. My only real problem with Elder Scrolls Online, and my reason for it being number 5, is that they came out with the one Tamriel patch, which basically makes it just like Skyrim or Oblivion, where your level doesn't matter as much. So this means you can take on any quest at any time, which is great, but it also kind of makes the stories a little disjointed, since it was originally designed to be played linearly. Elder Scrolls Online is a buy-to-play game, but there is no subscription model, and each expansion, like the new Morrowind content, has to be purchased as well. At number 4, I have the Star Wars Old Republic. For a long time, this has been at the top of everybody's list, and with good reason. These stories are great. It was made by BioWare, who we all know for the longest time came out with terrific storylines, and hearing that they were going to be in charge of Star Wars The Old Republic made it very excited when it was first coming out. All of the cutscenes are fully voiced and animated. Every class gets a huge, unique storyline for both dark and light side to the Force. As the cutscenes play, you make choices for how your character will respond to the situation, and this only adds to the interaction with the story and how invested you are in your character. The story is always front and center in what you're doing, and it drives you to complete quests. I'm always wanting to complete one so I can see what happens next. There's no reason not to give Star Wars The Old Republic a try. It's free to play up to level 50, so you can enjoy all the original classes and planetary stories with no commitment. Number 3 is one of my favorite MMOs of all time, Lord of the Rings Online. If you've watched the movies, read the books, or any kind of Tolkien fan of any kind, then this is definitely your MMO. I love all of these stories. They are just rich and deep and so exceptionally good. You follow Frodo, Sam, and Aragorn, and the rest of the Fellowship as they take the ring to Mount Doom. While you don't really directly change the outcome of the stories in the books, you do interact with these characters as they are taking the ring to Mordor. You're there as the events are happening. Sauron's evil forces are invading the land, and you have to do your part to ensure the safety of the Fellowship and help them out while they're doing this task instead of all the normal stuff that they would do. Some of the storylines may only be hinted at in the books, but they've been elaborated here, and it feels like they really are a part of Middle-earth, and they make you feel like you're a part of Middle-earth. While not all of them are in cutscene form, the stories do move you along, ensuring that the story is always the reason you are here in this world. There's so much flavor and lore here that it's just a true pleasure playing through this game. Lord of the Rings Online is a free-to-play game, but there are quite a few things you need to buy to get the full experience, so keep that in mind if you jump in, but I do suggest you do so. Number 2 is Final Fantasy XIV. While not everyone is a fan of Final Fantasy stories, that includes me, I'm not a huge fan, but this one is actually exceptionally good. There are so many twists and turns in this story, and there are some very shocking moments as you play through it. Again, these aren't fully voiced, but they do have a lot of cutscenes, and they're fully animated in the typical Final Fantasy style. In these storylines, you are integral to the events that are going on. So when some critical moment happens, they are actually quite surprising and you feel it. Most MMOs never get to this level of storyline, and it's quite a pleasure to play through it. Final Fantasy XIV is actually free to play up to level 30. I don't think a lot of people know that, but it is. So there's really no reason to give it a try. It's a AAA MMO, and I think if you just make it to level 30, you'll see how good it actually is, and I highly suggest that you do. Before we move into the number 1 spot, I wanted to give an honorable mention to Star Trek Online. Especially if you're a Trek fan, then there are so many good stories here, and they are always putting out new content that revolves around the storylines and evolving it. In this MMO, you feel like you are a captain on a bridge, and that's in large part to the story that they deliver. This is a very strong honorable mention, and it could have easily been on the list. Finally, number 1 is Secret World Legends. If you've been around my channel for any amount of time, you know how much I love stories in the Secret World. This is a reboot of the Secret World with new combat mechanics. But the storylines for the original game are all here, and they are just so amazingly good. If you love X-File type stories or dark storylines where the themes are about a world that's just not quite right, you know something ominous is always right there, then the Secret World scratches that itch in just the right way. There is no game like this in any genre, let alone the MMO genre. It just defies genres in a lot of ways as far as the theme goes. All cutscenes are fully voiced and animated. Every time I come up to a new NPC, I just can't wait to hear what they have to say and what we're going to find out about this weird world. It's always so interesting. As far as the story goes, I can find no fault in this game. They're just exceptionally good. Every single one of them. It's really what makes this game so terrific. It's been rebooted, so it's free right now. There's lots of people playing it, and you definitely should be trying this one out if you haven't. Let it take hold of you. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. All of these MMOs I have played through here on my channel, so they're available for you to watch. And I try to put out an MMO video every day of the week, so you definitely want to be subscribed if you haven't already. Please let me know what you think of this list. Did I get it right? Did I miss anything? All your comments are appreciated, and I read every single one. So, till next time, bye.